What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing something that I found really interesting, and that is involving Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, as we all know, Zion Williamson hasn't really played this NBA season, and it was brought to my attention that there is some clause within his contract that if he doesn't reach them as far as weight and body mass and things like that, this is really interesting because I don't know if this is the first of its kind. But I knew there was clauses in his contract if he didn't play a certain amount of games, but I didn't know that he's on track. He's actually on track. Now, I know Zion is one player that, a lot of people talk about his weight management and how, he's out of shape all the time and things like that. He has a food problem and all of these other things that can be said about this particular player. But he is on track to satisfy the weigh-in criteria that requires him to have a combined weight and body fat percentage below 295 to guarantee 20% of his salary for the 25 and 26 season. The remaining 80% of Williamson's salary becomes guaranteed on the number of games he plays in the previous season. That's this year. That's 24 and 25. So the remaining 80% of Williamson's salary becomes guaranteed based on the number of games he plays. He gets 40% of his money guaranteed if he plays in 41 games, 20% if he plays in 51 games, and 20% if he plays in 61 games. He's already missed 27 games this season, so he won't hit the 61 benchmark. He will only miss 4 games and still hit the 51 game threshold. Zion is only 24 years old. Now, like I said, he's on pace to be able to return. But this is really interesting because I know for a fact, right? Being as young as he is, and he has had the injury history that he has had, but that's really interesting for a contract to be broken down like that. I mean, we hear all types of clauses, incentives, and things, bonuses, and things like that for guys that become first-time All-Stars, All-NBA, first-team defense, Rookie of the Year, MVP, all these different type of incentives that go along, going to the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, all of these things that come with NBA and NFL, all pro athlete style contracts. This is one that I don't think in my recent memory, when it came to me just watching sports, being a sports fan, that I can remember hearing about. A player that is struggling. He's struggling with, being in shape. Because that's what it is, right? That's what Zion struggles with. He struggles with being in shape. And then you add on the injuries and the injury history. It's just a bevy of things that continue to follow him. When you discuss about on the court issues, Zion Williamson is dominant. He's a dominant force in the NBA. There's nothing that you can take away from him that doesn't make you see that he's a dominant force in the NBA. Now, again, like I said, could he remain on the floor? Of course. But that's the only asterisk when it comes to Zion Williamson. But this contract is, when you really break it down, right? And as I'm going to Hoops Hype to get his contract. He's a player, right? That I can't tell myself that if he was on the floor, this team would be better. And that's when it comes down to the New Orleans Pelicans. We know with him what they could be. But we're talking about a player that is making almost 34 million. Almost 34 million this year. He'll be making 36 million next year. Well, 36 million this year. That's 24-25. 39 million in 25-26. It goes to 42 the year after that, and then 44 million in the year 27-28. Now, here's the scary thing. Zion Williamson is on par to make $44 million at the end of this contract in the years 27-28. He'll be around 28 years old. Still, if healthy, he could have another 7 years in front of him. Maybe, right? Maybe have another 7 years in front of him to be able to play. And that's the thing about these NBA contracts. Now, the only thing I see holding him back and holding him down is his weight problem. And maybe, honestly, let me say something right about Zion when it comes to saying things like that, right? Weight problem. Is it really a weight problem? Is it really a weight issue? I don't know, because I'm not in the Pelicans front office day to day, things like that. I don't know if it's a weight problem. I don't know if it's a fact of the matter that he can't put he can't put certain foods down. I don't know. I just think that when you look at a player as talented as he is, as dominant as he is, he's a force of nature when he's on the basketball floor. He's very talented. I don't know if, the NBA, or I don't know. Like, it's so many things that you can say and assumptions that you can make, opinions and things like that related to this issue. But like I said, with a contract like that and so many clauses, I don't know if those things keeps him of course some players are money motivated, right? Let me do what I got to do so I can make my money. But if he's unable to play and the Pelicans part ways with him, where do we see Zion going? So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. NBA fans, basketball fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into the channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.